Hello everyone, welcome to Making the Tea Rational, where I make all the tea and gossip make sense. Fair use. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by the copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I thought I would come on here and speak about the rumors that are going around regarding Brittany, Dub's ex, and his baby's mother, and his girlfriend, Aaliyah. And the fact that their numbers have been leaked and everyone trying to determine who actually leaked Brittany's number first, because that's where it started. Supposedly, Aaliyah was on a chat, and in the chat, she gave Brittany's number out to the people that were in there and told them to go spam Brittany's phone. And Brittany started getting a bunch of text messages, calls, and all kinds of things from these strange people, and she's like, did someone leak my number? Because apparently someone sent her a text, and Brittany had asked the person, was her number leaked? And she said, yes, duh. The person was saying that Aaliyah is the one who leaked Brittany's number, and that she was going to actually send a screenshot of the chat and of Aaliyah doing this, supposedly. And Aaliyah went on and made a video talking about where's the chat? Where's the chat? Where's the screenshot of her leaking Brittany's phone number? Because she's stating that she didn't do it. But somehow Brittany's number was leaked. Somebody leaked her number because there was a lot of people calling her, sending her text messages and all that. And so because Brittany thought that Aaliyah had leaked her number, she in turn, she said basically, first she said she was going to sue Aaliyah for doing it. She said, thank you for telling me this, and now I can sue her. So I guess she felt like that was a little too much money to have to go out and do all of that. That costs money. So I'm just going to match her with the same energy for free. So she just went on and leaked, Aaliyah's telephone number. She's like, she leaked mine, so here's her number.
My number was leaked. Okay? I have screenshots that show, because the thing is, I see it myself. A person that got my number on her Instagram screenshotted everything that she posted and sent it to my phone and said, your number is leaked. These are all this is everything that's on there. I said, what are you talking about? Where's the group chat at? Where's the group chat at that I leaked it on? Why ain't there no screenshots of it? I'm just saying, where's the screenshots? Find the screenshots. Y'all work so hard. Find that screenshot. Please. Please. Please.
And so Aaliyah is upset about that and basically went on this doggone rant and basically trying to rage bait Brittany into going off. She wants to fight her. I guess that's what she's trying to do, because she said that Brittany had made a threat to my she was going to slap her. And she said she saw her at TT's pop-up shop, and Brittany walked right past Aaliyah, and Aaliyah said she didn't do anything. But Aaliyah, that's messy of her, because that situation happened some time ago. That was when Woowop was sick, and Brittany had came over to where her and Dub used to live together, and Leah was there, and Woowop had a high temperature, so she was trying to get in to see about her child, and Aaliyah closed the door. She locked the door to keep Brittany from getting in there. And I guess once Brittany finally got in, they had words, and Brittany told her she was gonna come over there and she told Aaliyah, be quiet before I come over there and smack you. And I guess that's when what she's talking about. That was a while ago. The only thing that Brittany has said anything about was when they had went to dinner and she yelled at Woowop. I haven't heard Brittany say anything else about Aaliyah. I mean, Aaliyah really is showing how she really feels about Brittany, because she basically said that Brittany was ugly. And she didn't just say she was ugly. She said she is ugly as hell. Now, you know how disrespectful that is? And you're around this girl, this woman's child, and you feel that way about her. And then she gonna say she don't have any respect for Brittany now. None. And then she accused Brittany of leaking her car information, her address. She said Brittany has done a lot of things to her as far as leaking her information. But how does Aaliyah know that Brittany did this stuff? Didn't somebody burn Aaliyah's car or something like that? So it sounds like Aaliyah has other enemies. It don't sound like Brittany is the only enemy that Aaliyah has. But I just believe, Aaliyah, she should just keep things a little bit on mute. All she had to get on social media and say that, I wasn't the one who leaked your number, Brittany, or, I didn't leak her number. So that's just a rumor, and she didn't know how anyone got her number. But no, she had to go on this rant and and basically put out insults. She had to insult Brittany in the process. And I just I just don't understand why Aaliyah has so much anger or dislikeness for Brittany, when Brittany seemed like she was pretty cool with Aaliyah. That's what it seemed like to me. When they were at Halo's party, she was talking to Aaliyah like Aaliyah was her friend. And that's what I'm saying. You can't be friends with people like that. I don't know what Brittany called herself doing at that moment, but you can just tell they still didn't like each other, because they started kind of getting into it. I believe Dub mother and DDG mama came over at the right time, and kind of broke that up, because, Dub probably sent her over there to say something when they were at the party. Dub does not like the fact that Aaliyah talks to Brittany. He doesn't want them to be friends or anything. So I think he kind of keep the tension going too. I think he kind of eggs Aaliyah on a little bit.
And the kids, all of us being happy and enjoying ourselves. She does not like to see when we are having a good time. She does not like to see when the vibes are good. But she don't like to see me pretty living my best life. I'm sorry. And it's like every month, all the time, like, it's so it used to be a Dub thing. The problem used to be about Dub. That used to be the problem. Now, it's not that. I don't care. Yes, Brittany is ugly as hell. Drag me for it. Drag me for it. And ain't nothing that anybody gonna do about it. I don't care. I don't care. She might be pretty to somebody else. To me, she's not. I might be pretty to somebody else and ugly to somebody else. Who cares? Who cares? I'm not gonna be fake and sit here and say she's blah blah blah. For what? Why am I gonna sit here and lie? I ain't the cutest thing to somebody else neither. I might not be cute to you. Clipped. I don't care.
So Aaliyah is saying that she has something that Brittany wants, and that why would she leak her number, because she doesn't have anything that Brittany doesn't have anything that Aaliyah wants. But she's trying to imply that she has Dub and that Brittany really wants Dub back. Aaliyah even made a comment before in another video that even if Dub wasn't with Aaliyah was stating that Dub still wouldn't want to be with Brittany. But it doesn't sound like Brittany want him back. It doesn't sound like she want him back at all. But I mean, I don't understand, what does that have to do with the fact that you having somebody and leaking a number? What does that have to do with one another? Just because you have Dub Dub is surprised, I guess. You couldn't possibly leak Brittany's number, but someone said they was going to send her the screenshot, send Brittany the screenshot of Aaliyah basically leaking Brittany's number on that chat. Brittany sent a text. She put it on the text message. She's like, okay, fine. If she's pregnant, this person who was supposedly contacting her to expose Aaliyah told her that, and then this person was saying that they wanted to meet her up to fight her because supposedly Aaliyah paid them to fight Brittany. They paid them to fight her. So she around here paying people to fight Brittany, and it's crazy. And Brittany was like, I'm not going to fight. I'm going to meet you anywhere. I don't even know you. You're a stranger to me. Why would I meet a whole stranger somewhere to fight? And she gonna say, this person, I said woman, but because men can be messy. It could have been a dude that did that, because men have been proven to be quite messy nowadays. They be getting in women's beefs and everything. And they try to talk about women are just like this and messy. Men are quite messy too. So I don't understand it. I don't understand what Aaliyah has a problem with, why she has such an issue with Brittany. And then people are trying to say that Brittany is the messy one. But no, it's clearly, you can see that Aaliyah has something against Brittany, because Aaliyah's one of them type of people. She does kind of throw rocks and hide her hand. She tries to pretend like she's really nice. She's the one who's not as angry with Brittany, but you can see the things that Aaliyah does. She tries to, come for Brittany because she feels like, Dub is going to support her. He's not going to say or do much if Aaliyah, targets Brittany. So whoever the person was that reached out to Brittany must have been in that chat. And she said she had the screenshot of it. And she said, Brittany was like, thank you for telling me that, so now I can sue her. Whether or not Brittany will sue Aaliyah or not is to be seen, but I just don't understand why Aaliyah has such anger with Brittany. Because I really don't see that Brittany's really doing anything to Aaliyah. I don't. But, Aaliyah really is showing how she really feels about Brittany. Because she basically said that Brittany was ugly. And she didn't just say she was ugly. She said she is ugly as hell. Now, you know how disrespectful that is? And you're around this woman's child, and you feel that way about her. And then she gonna say she don't have any respect for Brittany now. None. And then she accused Brittany of leaking her car information, her address. She said Brittany has done a lot of things to her as far as leaking her information. And the rumor is going around is that Aaliyah has a tendency to sleep with people who are already in relationships. She has a history of doing that. That's the kind of person she is. So, because she wants men who have money. I think that's where she's trying to go. Somebody who's already established. And that's what I'm saying. She's trying to work on baby number 3. She's not pregnant by Dub. Her stomach is flat as ever. But that's what she's working on. I believe that. But I'm still trying to wonder who released Brittany's telephone number. Who did that all of a sudden now? This is something that's just happened. So somebody released her information first? And who was it? Why would somebody come on her chat? On her, send her a text saying that Aaliyah released. How did they get her phone number? And she said a lot of different numbers were calling her. So something is not right. And you can't believe a person is completely honest when they're around doing stuff like that. Going around, sleeping around with people who are already in relationships. I don't have respect for people that do stuff like that. Because you can clearly find somebody else who's single and get with that person if that's what you choose to do. You don't have to keep on getting with people who's already in committed relationships or who's in relationships. I think it just shows something about your character. And I don't care what nobody feels about me saying this. I just do. Regardless of her and Dub had problems. So what? You were sneaking behind Brittany's back with him. And you knew he was in a relationship. And she keeps throwing that in Brittany's face and saying that she was paid by Aaliyah to fight her. Because Leah had brought that up, was talking about slapping. She didn't slap me. She said, well, she wanted to slap me. Why is Aaliyah bringing that up now? So it does kind of go along with a lot of things that Aaliyah says, and that she was saying in her video. It does kind of go together with the things that was happening with the people that was in the chat, and saying that Aaliyah had them. She was saying a lot of things that went along with that to me. And I don't understand why all of a sudden now, Aaliyah is starting to bring up old stuff. She's the one that seems like she wants to keep things going to me. And like I say, she's just one of them type of people that pretend like she's like just like she's nicer, trying to come off like she's nicer than what she is, but she's really not all that nice. And you can't be not doing stuff like that, not cheating with a person who's in a relationship. Like I said, they were common law. Brittany and Dub were pretty much common law. They were together ever since Woowop was an infant, ever since he was born. Yeah, they, like Brittany said, they had a toxic relationship. They were on again, off again. But so what? Aaliyah and Dub are on again, off again. But what if Dub was to go back and get with Brittany on their off moments, and he creep back with Brittany? Then what? And Aaliyah gonna try to take pot shots about that. Even if Dub wasn't with me, he still wouldn't go back to Brittany. She made a comment like that. She's always insulting Brittany. She's always trying to take hits at her all the time. I don't even see how Brittany even try to be friends with somebody like that. I couldn't trust her because she just keeps on doing it. And I just think she thinks she's better than Brittany for whatever reason. When Dub done blew her head up or something, it's something that she just thinks she's better than her. And calling Brittany ugly. That's a lot of nerve. She thinks she all that. I mean, for real. Like she said, some people might not think I'm cute, but I just don't think Brittany's attractive. Okay, well then, do you have to say it? Everything that's in your mind don't have to be said. Sometimes you can just keep it in that frontal lobe and just kind of leave it there. You don't need to make it come through your mouthpiece. Sometimes you can just keep things to yourself. And I just think she's just disrespectful. Why are you disrespecting Brittany? The mother of the man you trying to get a ring out of and a baby out of, you're disrespecting his mom? And you trying to pretend like you his second mother, but you don't respect his actual mother? Make that make sense to me. But you guys tell me what you think. Do you think Aaliyah is the one who actually leaked Brittany's telephone number and she's trying to pretend like it wasn't her in the chat? Do you also think Aaliyah is actually pregnant and maybe Dub told her not to say anything? Or do you think she's actually not pregnant? Because see, that's another thing. Now, let me back up a little bit. Now, all this ranting and stuff that Aaliyah's doing, and one of the main issues was that she was supposed to be on the chat to show her sonogram. Now, she addressed all the other rumors. Why didn't she ever address the fact that she wasn't actually pregnant then? In those videos, that long video she made, that live she made talking about, she didn't leak Brittany's phone number and calling Brittany all these names and stuff. Why didn't she address that at that time? She had to make a whole separate video talking about she wasn't pregnant. But she wanted that to keep on going. She wanted people to still think she's pregnant. Then again, it's still tying into what everybody's saying that Aaliyah supposedly had done. It does tie into all of that. Why would you not just come out and say that you're not pregnant at that time when that was one of the main issues in the chat? That was the reason why it was stated that you even made the chat, is to expose your sonogram. So something is just kind of odd. Yeah, I would think somebody would have probably posted it, took a screenshot and posted it by now. But maybe they just don't want you coming after them. Maybe they think you might report them to the police like you're accused of what you're going to do to Brittany because you feel like she exposed your information. How about you going to call the police on somebody? On Woowop's mother, you going to try to have her picked up because she exposed your number? Girl, please. I would see why Brittany wouldn't like her so much. I mean, I'm just being honest. Look at all the stuff she's doing. So you guys tell me what you think. Leave me a comment. Give me a thumbs up. And please do not forget to share my video. And please do not forget to subscribe on your way out. And everyone have a nice day.